Hi everyone, this is EstaRa with a message for you. Happy New Year. It is January 2nd, 2018, and I'm back from my little hibernation week, and I absolutely loved every second of being away from everything. And, you know, I originally intended to do a lot of writing. I thought, I did do a little bit of writing. I thought I would do a lot of writing. I thought I would spend time on my computer doing things that I needed to do, and I didn't. I actually picked up my computer for a couple days, and then I never looked at it again. And I'm so grateful for that. I had an opportunity to play. And my idea of playing is like read a book. I don't get to read. I've been wanting to read forever because I love reading. And usually my guides are like, oh no, we'll teach you. Instead, they let me read. So I read a book and a half while I was away, very big books too. And I did a lot of relaxing and a lot of just quiet time for me. Didn't spend lots of time in meditation. Did some little adventures every now and then I could do physically that allowed me to do it in my body. Had moments where I wasn't great, but overall I had such a great time and I felt a shifting in the energy. So my guides have been saying that things were going to shift and change, and you're going to feel it, you're going to sense it, and a lot of things are going to go on. One thing I love about being away and not doing work is I feel refreshed and renewed, and things just come through me faster now. And I needed to recharge. And you know, it's funny, I think you forget when you're in a lot of pain how difficult it is. So I'm really grateful and blessed that I had a friend that invited me and I was able to go on this adventure. You know, it's so necessary, and it was the most peaceful time I ever had in terms of a holiday. And while I didn't get to spend it with family, I'm going to be with them today. I'm really grateful I didn't, because I think if I did, I'd feel lonely. I didn't feel lonely, and I wasn't with family, and I didn't long for anything. The whole season felt kind of weird anyway, as I had mentioned in a previous video, but I don't even remember what I told you anymore because everything feels like it's so long ago. Like I was away for a week. I feels like I was gone forever, and I feel like so much time has passed and a lot has happened, you know, a lot of energies have happened. And the most important piece that I want to convey to all of you is that we really are in a different time. So the last several years, it's been rough because of my car accident in 2013. It is now 5 years later. It'll be 5 years later. I'm really grateful to tell you that I feel like it's like ending the chapter of that. But what's really amazing to me is yesterday morning, I had such a wave of optimism. Not yesterday, I'm sorry. New Year's Eve on Sunday morning, I had such a wave of optimism come through me, and I thought, whoa, that's incredible. And I thought, wow, this is the first time in 5 years that I actually feel true, authentic optimism for the future. Yes, it looks like hell around us. Those of you who are living in America with me and see the chaos between the different extremes that are happening in our world and the fear-based like society that we are living in, the world too, really, it's not just here, but so much is going on that's not beautiful, not good on the surface, and even underneath things are falling apart. I have more optimism now than I ever have, and in the last 5 years, because it feels real and authentic. It almost feels like now I'm tuning in and I'm like, it almost feels like I manufactured the last few years when I was optimistic for change. I mean, I have moments of like glimpses of change and glimpses of hope, and I would grab onto it, like grabbing on, like holding on by tooth and nail just to keep that ounce of hope. I don't have that. I actually feel authentic optimism. I don't know what that means completely. Don't know how it's all going to look for everyone. I don't even have a clue. And quite honestly, I don't care. I'm in this really different space, and I don't know if anybody else is. I shouldn't say that. I do know a handful of friends are, because I've spoken to a few friends. We're in this, like, what I call the in-between. We're in this place of, so the holidays happened, right? And those of you, we're all twins, right? So those of you who are twins, you may be like longing for your twin, missing your twin. So in the previous years, I would have Christmas and I'd cry because my twin wasn't with me. He wasn't there next to me. And I would long for him and all the things that I wish I had and I wanted. Why hasn't it happened yet? All the things that people use, right? The words we use. And I would be sad. And then New Year's would come and I'd feel the same way. I'm alone again, you know? And I didn't feel any of that this time. I had moments where I felt like, oh, I miss him. I wish he were here. But I actually felt okay. And I realized it's because I was in a place of peace. And I wasn't surrounded by people feeling all their pain and taking it in for them and absorbing all of that, because I'm healing the stuff inside of me that's out of balance, and I'm not allowing myself to be pulled out of balance by others. But I've made a choice to step away from it, because I think if I was here, I might have felt the sadness and the pain. And what's interesting to me, and this I've known all my life, of course, but you know, apparently it's like taking a baseball bat to my head and knocking me over it with it and telling me, hey, this is what you need to pay attention to. One of the things is that I've always known that I absorb other people's energy. I've always known I'm empathic. I've always known that. But I guess I didn't realize to the capacity that I was doing it. So I'll feel other people's stuff, not realizing necessarily, because a lot of times it's such a fine line between you and someone else, or it's such an invasive energy that takes over, especially when you're someone like me who's a sponge and tends to allow that energy to come in, because I'm like, oh, I'm light. I'm supposed to bring light. And without understanding, my little inner child would say, I'm the light, so let me suck in your pain. I'll take it away for you. And I didn't know that's what I was doing, but that's what I was doing. And I probably have done that my entire life. And so rather than do that, like what would happen is I'd be in a holiday or whatever's going on with friends that are depressed, or like family that's sad, or their pain, or whatever's going on. And I would just like take that all in. And at first I'd be like, well, wait a minute, I was good this morning. And then I would just give into the emotion and the pain and the suffering, if you will. And I would be able to apply it to something in my life, because, you know, not everything in my life is rosy and beautiful. I know people like to believe that, because I tend to have this great demeanor of being, I look at peace. A lot of people tell me, you're always at peace and you don't show that you're worried. I'm like everybody else. I still feel things. I still feel crappy. I still have moments of ick. But right now I'm not. I'm actually in a good space. But I would attribute it to something in my life. And likely it was about the lack of my twin being with me and feeling alone or lonely. And I would attribute it to that, and then I would just spiral into this hell and go downwards. And I would just feel all that and not recognize that it really was, in fact, not mine. And it would be too late, because I'd be sucked in and feeling all the stuff and drama and emotions, and then I'd bring in more drama and emotion. Meanwhile, I'd feel my twins' drama and emotion too on top of it. So that's what would happen to me. And this time, by choosing not to go to family, I didn't have that happen, right? I was in a different space, and I was with a friend, and my friend had her part of the room, the suite we were in, and I had my part, which was like a different end of the place. It wasn't that huge, but you could feel like it was, because I actually got peace there, and I was able to find my own sacred space and maintain it and do what I needed to when I needed to, and not worry about pleasing anybody. And that's a new thing for me, because normally I would worry about what the other person's thinking. Do I need to do something else for them? And I didn't. I actually took care of me. So kudos to me, to the little girl inside of me. She's really happy. But I think that's why. That's one of the reasons why perhaps I'm not in that space of like sadness and longing. I also feel that that's not all of it, obviously. I feel there's this different energy that came in on the solstice, like my guide said would, like this lifting up energy. And I feel things have been lifting up since then and clearing, but also allowing a flow. And I can now look back at my life over the last couple months and tell you, truly, blocks have been removed. Obstructions that I've worked on for eons, at least it feels like, or several years, I feel like they're gone, and I feel like the doors and the gates are open, and things are coming in fast and furious and lining up for me. Like time wasn't right up until now. That's what it feels like. And I'm ecstatic about that. And so I'm sharing that with you because I feel like you may be there too. So, but the in-between place, yes, I want my twin. I love him. He is the love of my life. He's so important to me. And it's funny, I actually wasn't going to write a message to him for the new year. I did. I said, Happy New Year, my love. And I said, you're my love. Whether you feel that way about me or not, doesn't matter. You're my love. And I hope that it's happy for you. And it felt right to do that. I tuned into my spirit and it said, do that. And I said, so I did it. And I'm owning the fact that that's what I feel. I don't need him to match that at this moment. If he does, yay. If he doesn't, whatever. But I That's where I'm at. And I want to express me and be me. And so the last few months I've been that way. Like every time I talk to him, there's no filter. Things are just coming out of my mouth and I say what's coming up inside of me. And it's relieving a lot of stress and a lot of pressure for me. So maybe that's why this is happening. But I also feel like the universe is doing and supporting us the way it's been saying it is. But instead of us resisting the support, I'm allowing the support. So if you're allowing it too, then you're finding things are moving out of the way. Things are starting to open up a little bit more. Does it mean we're done? No, of course not. Are we ever really done? No, because if we're done, we wouldn't actually be here anymore. At least that's my feeling. And this in between is like, I don't really know where I'm going next, but I'm going to go day by day what I need to do. And so my suggestion to you is set an agenda in your head, like what you want to accomplish in the day. Throw it out to the universe and allow it to just show up and happen. So you can write it down. I find when I write things down, it's so much more solid, and I actually do it. If I do it in my head, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. So it's more tangible, you know, putting it on paper. But that's one thing I'm seeing. The next thing I want to say to you is like, I've opened doorways, and as I'm talking, I have this massive heart feeling right now, heaviness in my chest, and oh, it's my twin. Might have gotten my email. Yeah, I think he got my email because it just grabbed me, and now it's just easing up a little since I said that. So, wow, what can I tell you that happened? So, like I said, this optimism flew in on Sunday. Please feel that. Let yourself feel the optimism. Just go away from everything, shut everything off, and give yourself a half hour away from anything that distracts you and just be in the presence. We're in this massive supermoon, and let me tell you, it's a powerful, powerful supermoon. And, you know, emotions are like this. They go up and down, and like waves of it will happen. Stay in your balance. Do what you do to maintain you every day. If you do something to maintain you every day and you're really consistent about it, I promise you, it'll be kind of like bumper cars where you get bumped in by other people, but nothing really happens to you. You're just kind of getting pushed side to side, but you're still navigating forward. Try to be that in this thing. That's an image I'd like to share with you because I feel like that's what we're in with this energy is like bumper cars. And then yesterday was my day to stay home and just absorb the new moon, the full moon and the first day of the new year. And I chose to not go to my family's and do it alone and just be with me because that's what I wanted. And then I had a dear friend come over and we hung out and we watched, we talked a lot, but we also watched Lord of the Rings, one of my favorite movies. And the reason I love it is a great fantasy to get caught up in, but it always shows me that no matter how dark things are, the light does prevail eventually. And you have to hold on and have faith and believe in it. And you know, I think of Frodo in the movie, his mission was to get that ring destroyed. Well, we have a mission to unite with our twin flame on this planet. We have a mission to bring divine love here on the planet. We have a mission to change humanity's consciousness. That's our job. And when we don't do what we need to do to be okay, we are like Frodo, struggling and not staying in our center. And so it's difficult. But he still did it. It was heavy burden, but he did it. And I feel like we can too. So we watched that. But in the middle of it, I have to share this. This is really very amazing. So in the middle of the movie, so the day before New Year's Eve, I spent with me. I had just come home and I was just enjoying myself and reading, and I think I did a little work. Yep, I did some stuff I wanted to do. And then I sat and did like this little mini meditation. I said, well, let me try this and see what happens. And I'm like, oh, wow, that felt really light. I felt something leave my heart. And I thought, whoa, that's really interesting. Nice feeling. Didn't think nothing else happened. I waited for a few minutes, nothing else happened, and I thought, okay. So I got ready. I went to my friends for New Year's Eve, and I had a beautiful New Year's Eve with two of my dearest friends, and I love them dearly and grateful for time with them. And God, it was like the best. And actually, we opened Christmas presents. We shared gifts. It was the best Christmas I had. You know, the best presents I've gotten. So we did that, and then New Year's Day comes, and I have my other friend here. Great gift too. Wonderful time spent with her. And we're sitting there watching the movie, and all of a sudden, the movie, the TV remote control menu just shows up on my screen. Now, the remote control is far from us. We don't have it anywhere near us. And neither of us obviously touched it. And we looked at each other like, what the heck? What was that? And so we're like, I don't know. I was like, wow, that's just really weird. So I had to figure out how to like stop that. And I had to get up and get the remote and figure it out. And I did. Put it back down. Remote was far away again. No big deal. And start watching the movie. Maybe 5-7 minutes later, the TV shuts off. Completely shuts off. And I'm like, what the heck? And we actually saw this time the remote blink after it shut off. Like you could see that it did something and it was a blinking thing. I'm like, whoa, what the heck just happened here? It completely shut off. Like we didn't do anything. We're like, oh, somebody wants our attention. So we connected a little bit, and I literally didn't see anyone or anything. I did feel energy. I felt my twin a little bit, you know, but I feel him, you know, that's the usual thing. But I felt him, and I felt him the night before, but I felt him, and I thought, And then I asked my friend, I'm like, you know, who is it? And she's like, I don't know. It's not anyone. It's not your twin. It doesn't look like him. It's not him at all. It's a very different looking person. It's blonde. It's a blonde cherub-like face, and I was thinking, I really don't know. I mean, I go, he was my child in another life, so maybe that's it. And I let it go. I'm like, but I tuned in. I'm like, I feel like it's him. I still feel like it's connected to him. Maybe it's not him, but something's connected to him. So I said to her, I'm like, well, I did something yesterday. Oh, I opened it. She goes, then she heard the words, open the gate. And they kept saying, open the gate. What gate? And so all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, I did something yesterday. Maybe I opened the gate and let something in. I don't know. I go, it doesn't feel dark, but it's a little freaky. And she's like, I don't feel it's dark either. And so I tried to tune in again, nothing. And so neither of us, we thought, I said, oh, let me do what I did yesterday. So I did what I did the day before, and I was chanting. And as I was doing that, she said the gate opened and he went through. And it felt good, but it felt weird. It felt like different, like something had changed and something was different. So when that happened, I called another friend. I said, listen, we're not picking up on what's going on. I think we're too in it. Can you help? And so she said, as soon as you started talking, it's him. I think it's about your twin. And so then my friend says, the little spirit's name is Yosef. And Yosef was my twin's name as my child. Feels like many lifetimes ago. It was many lifetimes ago. And I said, oh my God, that whole lifetime came flashing through really quick. And it was him. And so all of a sudden it connected that he went through the gate. I let go of my little boy. I was so afraid that I lost him in that lifetime, that I was carrying that frequency of being afraid to lose him in this lifetime, of letting him go and just be free. And he was holding on to me as that mother energy, not as the equal that we want to be for each other. And it was like I set him free and he set me free. And I don't know, I felt this like as if I had something come over me and protect me. It was this beautiful thing. And I knew it was my twin. I felt him, and I felt so safe and sacred in that space. And everything was like a little weird, different. And then I wake up today and everything's a little weird, different. But when I say weird, different, it's good. It's like I'm very I'm very clear. I'm feeling very sacred. And then I started tuning in, and I got record this message, let people know this. And what they're telling me, as we are being given massive opportunities right now, capture the energy while you can this month, this whole month. Really capture clearing what you don't want, you no longer need. And what's happening is like you are literally being given an opportunity to let things go and move through you. So please do that and recognize that we have the ability to do things we've not done before, and we're having access to energies we didn't have before. And these things are really possible. And it's I feel my heart is lighter. I feel no tension in my jaw. I just feel good. And I don't know what the future's holding exactly, because I let go of what things should look like or how they should be. And I'm just trusting, spirit to guide me next steps. And I'm doing it day by day. And it's really easy to do, but yet it's really hard at the same time, because we all are so used to having a plan. And oh my God, how many people say to you, what's your New Year's resolution? I don't have a New Year's resolution. Mine is just to live my life every day fully, and to really listen to my body, listen to my mind and my spirit, what it needs, and listen to that little inner child in me, because that's been a big common theme the last few months. And that little boy represents the inner child in my twin flame. And I feel like I can't wait to talk to him, to hear his voice and see if something is different. And I don't know because I haven't talked to him. I haven't talked to him since last week, and I don't know what he's feeling or thinking. And I'd love to know what he's feeling or thinking. I know that he feels what happened, but what I can tell you is that wouldn't have happened if I wasn't working on me. So working on me is making it possible for all this shift to occur, and it's happening for all of you. So if you haven't had the time and you haven't done so, please look over the last few months of your life and see how far you've come. It might have been painful and difficult, because if you've been watching my videos, it's been very painful and very difficult for me. Lots of emotion, a lot of physical pain, but something is shifting and shifted. So it's still moving, but it's already happened. And I feel like we're already in this new space, and we're in a new place in time. I don't even know how to explain that totally, but that's the message I wanted to share with you. I know it's not a grand thing, but I think it's a grand thing, because I feel like some of you are really going to understand what I'm talking about and comprehend. Some of you may not get it. It's just you're not at that space right this moment, but you may be tomorrow. You may be later today or next week. Just trust that Spirit is really with you, working with you. And all the blocks, if you've been working on you, it's going to be even easier and quicker to remove them. So trust that, because it's happening. All right. My beautiful friends, I say Happy New Year to all of you. Blessed union to you, because it's coming. Oh boy, the one thing I can tell you is this morning I had this flash. I had a client, and I think it was before my client or right after my client. I ran into the bathroom, and I thought about my twin flame and his last name, and I thought, ooh, I can see my name with his last name. I've never seen that before. Yeah, I've written it on papers. I mean, didn't we all? Like the little girl inside of us. But I actually felt it. Like, that's who I am. I am that. That is who I am. So being in that energy is really important. Just believe it's already here. And the universe is going to show you it is. I don't know how. Don't know exactly what's going to happen. But stay tuned. The universe is calling. And it's coming back again. And it's going to bring to you what you need for you in this moment. And it might mean that you need to do healing. And it means really take that seriously and do that work. Because if it's showing you something, there's a reason for it. And it will help your twin. Everything you do helps your twin. Everything. Everything. So I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to let you go now. We're going to stop at 22:22. I send you many blessings, love, and light for a beautiful new year and your journey forward. And I will promise to be back at some point soon. All right. Bye now.